Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 4 o'clock draw of the Southern Mixed Doubles Cashspiel here at the Charlotte Curling Club in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Adam Pelletier. I will be commentating and announcing the 4 o'clock draw. We are just wrapping up the 3-minute practice session that is mandated by the World Curling Tour. This is a World Curling Tour points event. These are some of the best mixed doubles curlers in the country and a few from elsewhere as well. We got a great day of curling action going on here today. We got 4 sheets going, 4 games in the 4 o'clock window. On sheet A, we have Jenny and Ben Levy out of the Detroit Curling Club taking on Nicole Brown and Ryan Smith out of the Charlotte Curling Club. Both those teams are in Pool D, lost their first match, which means the winner will be climbing the Pool D standings. On our featured sheet, Sheet B, we have Casey Denhardig and Matthew Kenlin out of the Charlotte Curling Club playing their first match of the tournament of the Cashspiel, taking on Harley Rohrbacher and Vincent Skebby. They are out of the Pittsburgh and Mayfield clubs, respectively. They are also in Pool D. They are 1-0 right now, leading the pack in Pool D. On Sheet C, we have Adrian Cruiser and Brett Krubricht out of the Charlotte Curling Club. Both of them, this is their first match, and taking on Kristen Nickel and Gabriel Nickel out of the Four Seasons Curling Club. They are currently 1-0, leading, tied for the lead in Pool C. And then on Sheet D, we have Joyce McLaren and Kevin Meckenbeer out of the Denver Curling Club, taking on Emily Schweitzer and Blake Hagberg out of the Chaska Curling Club. Not exactly sure where the Chaska Curling Club is, but I'll get an answer for you on that in just a little bit. That is our action today, folks. We are keying in on Sheet B, which is a Pittsburgh-Mayfield matchup, which is Pittsburgh and Mayfield taking on the Charlotte Curling Club. Throwing the red rocks is Casey Denhardig and Matthew Kenlin. Throwing the yellow rocks is Harley Rohrbacher and Vincent Skebby. This is a World Curling Tour event, folks. That means we are following World Curling Federation mixed doubles rules. 1 male, 1 female on each team, throwing 5 rocks. We start with 2 rocks in play, so there's only going to be 7 rocks in play as opposed to the usual 8. So it might look a little different from a normal curling match from what you're used to, where there's 8 rocks going, 2 teams of 4. It's a little different. Still a lot of fun, lots of action, and we promise you will not be disappointed that you decided to join us here this afternoon. Thank you for joining us again here at the Charlotte Curling Club for the 4 p.m. draw of the World Curling Tour's Southern Mixed Doubles Cashspiel in Charlotte, North Carolina. We are over halfway done with our first day of competition, and we are excited to bring you all the curling action today. Again, we're focusing on our featured sheet, Sheet B, Casey Denhardig and Matthew Kenlin throwing the red rocks out of the Charlotte Curling Club, taking on Harley Rohrbacher and Vincent Skebby out of the Pittsburgh and Mayfield Curling Clubs, respectively. Harley and Vincent stand atop Pool D, currently at 1-0, while Casey and Matthew are both 0-0 right now. This is their first match. And yellow, Harley and Vincent are going to have hammer here in this first game. That's going to be the person who throws the second rocks, giving them an advantage. So good on them. They won the closest to the draw. Folks, we're going to have lots of action. Excited you decided to join us here, but we're going to hear for a quick word from our sponsors. QRS, Quality Renovation Services, has been specialists in both residential and commercial construction and renovation since 2002. With a team of highly skilled professionals, QRS specializes in renovation and reconstruction of offices and commercial spaces of all shapes and sizes. QRS is also a certified Passive House Institute builder, specializing in homes and commercial buildings that are more efficient and better for the planet. And QRS will consult on spaces for your business so that you know the quality of construction and what hidden issues may exist. QRS will perform the required construction, taking your property from its existing condition to the finished product. Contact QRS to get a quote today at qrnsc.com. That's qrsnc.com, or give QRS a call at 980-721-9987. Quality Renovation Services, your premier commercial renovation contractor. Folks, Sheet B is underway here. We've got 1 rock in play for Denhardig and Kenlin. Denhardig and Kenlin came down the right-hand side there, tried to draw in, but were just a little heavy and might have ticked that yellow rock that was sitting shot. Harley Rohrbacher now out of the hack, delivering a nice shot, trying to come down that right side, trying to follow that draw line that Denhardig and Kenlin set. We saw a lot of play down the right-hand side on sheet B in the 2 o'clock draw, folks. Not as much draw action down the left-hand side. It seemed like teams were struggling to find the draw movement on the left-hand side. So a little heavy there from Rohrbacher. Maybe a little heavy and a little wide. Didn't move as much as maybe she wanted to, and she's currently sitting third shot. And that's going to open up the door here. Casey Den Hardig steps into the hack for the Charlotte duo of Den Hardig and Kenlin. Kenlin threw the first rock. That means Den Hardig's throwing second and fifth. Kenlin will be throwing second, third, and fourth. I think. I'm not exactly sure on what the exact order is, but they change up the order, so it doesn't matter much. Den Hardig here coming down the right-hand side. Again, that right-hand side draw. Let's see if she can tighten it up a little bit from what Kenlin threw. Kenlin's on it with a sweep off. Good throw there by Den Hardig coming down the right-hand side. Kenlin's on for the sweep, trying to hold it there, trying to keep it around, gets it around, but not as much movement as they were hoping to. A little wider than maybe they were hoping, and a little too hard, just a little too hard and a little too wide. And that leaves that right-hand side draw still sitting there. We're still waiting for the first team to be able to hit that draw, find that draw, wait. It's a tricky thing. This ice is going to be different. If they played in the earlier draw, the ice has changed. The ice is an ever-moving beast. It changes from the start of the game to the end of the game. It changes shot to shot. Every shot is going to be a little different because of the sweeping, the rock patterns, and just as the ice naturally warms up and cools down with a lot of bodies on the ice. So it'll be interesting to see how these athletes adjust as Vincent Skebby throws his first rock. Also following that right-hand draw, he's up, he threw it. He's getting ready to sweep. He's on it. Rohrbacher's calling for the sweep, but Skebby's off of it now. Good shot by Skebby coming down the right side. He needs to hug that guard tightly. Does he have it? Looks like he's good. He's going to try to push it. He's going to try to push it a little bit with his sweep. Not sure if he's going to get it there. Good sweep by Skebby. The curl is on. Great shot. Skebby leaves it above the tee line, sitting there. He is sitting shot rock right now, and I believe that's sitting second for Skebby and Rohrbacher. They're sitting two right now. Good shot. Putting the pressure on Den Hardig and Kenlin early here. Den Hardig settles in for her second throw. She looks like she's going to follow that same line, just try to draw it a little better. Coming down that right-hand side, maybe a little bit more weight. Going to try to maybe bump some stuff around and open up some space. Good shot by Den Hardig. No sweep needed by Kenlin. That's how you know it's a good one if they don't need a sweep. Kenlin thinking about it, walking with it still. Might want to get on it, but just a little wide. Not going to come back enough for Den Hardig. Good throw, just needed it to move a little bit more than it wanted to. So ice isn't moving as much as it was a little earlier today, as we've got action going on all four sheets. We're focusing in on our featured sheet on sheet B. We'll keep you apprised of the action on sheet A through C. So we will keep you updated on those scores, and if one of those games gets close and our featured game isn't as good, maybe we'll jump over to there and keep you updated. So right now we got Rohrbacher and Skebby sitting one with that good throw by Den Hardig that cut it down, but Den Hardig left that rock a little bit out there that could be hit. We'll see what Skebby does here as Vincent Skebby settles into the hack. Looks like he's gonna bring something. Everybody's playing down that right-hand side. Skebby, good throw, working it out there. Gonna try to touch maybe the corner of Den Hardig's and clear some things out. He's trying to coax it, asking it to curl. Not sure he's going to get the curl he was hoping for, as that's just going to hang out there. Kenlin's on to sweep it out the back of the house. Skebby, when you get outside the center lines there, folks, so towards the middle of the ice tends to be a little bit more true. It's going to move a little better, and you have a lot more rocks played down that center area. As you work your way down the outside of the sheet, though, fewer and fewer rocks are typically thrown down those avenues, which means they're more likely to catch and hang out there a little bit. And we saw that there with Skebby's rock. He was hoping it would come as a wide swinger in, and he just didn't get that bite back in. As Den Hardig delivers her final rock of this end, she's going to try to come down that right-hand side. Nice draw. We got everybody trying to draw. It's a draw party here on sheet B in the first end. Kenlin's on it, sweeping furiously. Kenlin sweeping, sliding the feet, slips, sliding and sweeping, gets it around the guard. Is that going to be the shot? It looks like it could. Can he get the tap? Taps. What a shot by Den Hardig. Tough to tell. Looks like Den Hardig and Kenlin are sitting. Didn't quite get enough of it to sit one. Is that still Skebby and Rohrbacher sitting one with their yellow in the back of the house? Folks, scoring and curling, those rings on the ice aren't point values. It's just one. It's just a point for whoever's closest to the center of the ring. And then for every, if so, right now, Skebby and Rohrbacher are sitting one with their yellow rock inside of all the other red rocks. If they had another red rock close, if they had another yellow rock inside of the next closest red rock, that would be two. But they only have one right now. So Skebby and Rohrbacher are going to try to come down. Looks like they're going to try to come down this left-hand side. Try the draw from the left-hand side of the sheet. Adventurous as nobody's come down this side as Skebby's delivering his last stone of the end. Coming down the ice, the weight looks nice. Skebby wants to sweep it though. He's on it for a sweep. Maybe the weight isn't as nice. I thought the weight looked good, folks. Tough to tell from up here, and I don't know what exactly he was trying to do. Skebby sweeping it furiously, trying to get it around the guard. Not going to do it. I was wrong. The weight was way light. Skebby left that one a little too light, folks. And when I say light or heavy, light means you didn't throw it as hard as you needed to. Heavy means you throw it really, really hard. So if we say light and heavy, weight is we're talking about the speed with which it comes. As Matthew Kenlin settles in for the final rock for the Charlotte duo. As Kenlin and Den Hardig are talking about what they want to do. And looking at this, they have two options. They have a draw on the left side, or they can come down that right side that they're very familiar with and try to tap their red rock back with enough force to clear out that yellow rock. And I think Kenlin looks like he's coming down that right-hand side, bringing just enough weight to tap some stuff back and move some stuff up. And Den Hardig is on it hard. Hard sweep by Den Hardig. As Kenlin is following along, keeping an eye on things. Den Hardig still on it hard. Can she hold it there? Kenlin's on it now. Double sweep. Can they get it? They need a little bit of weight. They need to push their stone in just an inch to out edge it, and they're going to get the count. And they're going to be sitting one. Kenlin and Den Hardig push that in and are sitting scoring one as Skebby and Rohrbacher are talking about their plan now. They have a couple options here. They could come down the left-hand side here for the draw, which they tried on their last shot, or they could come down that right-hand side, try to clear some things out and score. All our action here is in the first end. As soon as scores start going up, folks, we'll take you around the rink and we'll update you on what's happening as Harley Rohrbacher settles in for her and Skebby's final shot of this end. As Rohrbacher settles in, slides out, delivers. Looks like they're going to try to come on that left-hand draw. Coming down the left-hand side, going to try to draw in and around everything. Good throw by Rohrbacher. Needs to move, though. Skebby looks like he's going to try to push it a little bit. Skebby trying to push it a little to the right. That's a tricky maneuver to do. Well, you can only be on one side of it. Doesn't quite get the push that he was hoping for. And that's going to be one for Den Hardig and Kenlin, unless one's inside of it. That could be two, but I think it's going to be one. We'll find out when they put up the official score here on sheet B. On sheet C, we have Kristen and Gabriel Nickel from Four Seasons up 2-0 on Cruiser and Kubrick out of Charlotte as they're heading into their second end. And on sheet D, we have Joyce McLaren and Kevin Meckenbauer up 1-0 on Emily Schweitzer and Blake Hagberg out of Chaska Curling. So some first end action wrapping up here on sheet B. Our featured sheet, Kenlin and Den Hardig, only ended up taking one, which puts them up 1-0 here through one end. Coming back, that means Rohrbacher and Skebby are going to keep the hammer heading into the second end here as Kenlin settles in for his first shot. Kenlin, they're sticking to that right side of the sheet, folks. Kenlin coming down the right-hand side, looking to draw himself around the right-hand side here, tuck it in. behind and push it back. A little bit of different strategy here in mixed doubles curling is you start with 2 rocks on the ice, which means it's a lot more draws. It's more draw shots and less hit shots. Good shot by Kenlin to replace the starter shot for yellow. As Skebby and Rohrabacher getting set. Rohrabacher throwing the first rock here for Skebby and Rohrabacher. She settles into the hack. Looks like let's see what she does here. All the options in the world open to her. As she's going to come down that right-hand side as well. Trying to come down, do the same shot that Kenlin just did. Good shot by Rohrabacher coming down the right-hand side. Is it going to move? Is it going to move as much as it is? Sorry, folks, we realized we lagged a second there for you. Good shot by Rohrabacher. You saw the tail end of it as she pushed Kenlin's shot on out. However, that's going to be a replace as full takeouts are not allowed yet in mixed doubles, which means Rohrabacher loses her rock as she cleared the red rock all the way out. Not allowed to have that full takeout yet in mixed doubles curling. It's a modification of the free guard zone rule in standard curling. So, looking at sheet B here, Casey Den Hardig settles in as Den Hardig and Kenlin have a major advantage now as they got to replace theirs, and Rohrabacher and Skebby just lost their second rock, which lost their first rock, which puts them in a massive disadvantage. Good shot by Den Hardig coming down that right side. She's got that dialed in, coming down the right side draw. Kenlin got it around the guard, and that's going to sit in there. Den Hardig and Kenlin are going to be sitting 2, putting the pressure on Skebby and Rohrabacher. And over on sheet A, we have Jenny and Ben Levy from Detroit out to an early 3-0 lead on Nicole Brown and Ryan Smith after one end. Big end for the Detroit duo. Let's see if they can keep it up. Now back to Vincent Skebby here on sheet B. He needs to do something and put a rock in the middle here to start cutting down the points from Den Hardig. Kenlin. Good shot by Skebby. He's going to sweep it himself. I don't need no partner, I'll do it myself. He says he's going to sweep it. He's trying to hold it there. Keep it on line, keep it on weight. Good shot by Skebby around the guard. Going to tuck it right in between the 2 redstones. What a shot by Vincent Skebby. As that is just a little outside shot. Den Hardig and Kenlin are still sitting shot. If you look, folks, you can see the left-hand red rock is just touching, biting a little bit, as we call it, in the white button area. Just giving red that 1 point. Good shot, though, by Skebby to put some pressure on Kenlin and Den Hardig. Den Hardig coming down that right-hand side again. Den Hardig and Kenlin are loving this right-hand draw lane. Unless somebody puts a rock on it, they're just going to keep coming down it. Good shot by Den Hardig. Kenlin's on it. He just needs to sweep it a little bit to get it around that guard. Looks like it's good. It's good. It's clear. Great shot by Den Hardig. Coming on down and just taps some things around. And that, depending on how that all fell out, that's going to be a nose hair measurement, folks. But that could be Den Hardig pushing her and Kenlin up to a 2-point end. We'll see what Skebby does coming back here. Looks like he's going to try to come around from the left-hand side and just clear that shot rock off the back of the forefoot. Skebby, tired of just trying to play the draw game, going to the hit here. Maybe not a full hit, but at least bringing a heavy draw down that left-hand side. It'll be interesting to see. We haven't seen a lot of shots move that much from left to right here, folks. A lot of the shots down the left-hand side tend to just kind of hang out there. Let's see if Skebby is taking notes from earlier draws. Skebby with a good shot down the left-hand side. Needs it to start moving, though. I don't know that it is. He's trying to coax it. He's pleading with it to move. And it's starting to, but I don't think it's going to come back. It just hung out there a little bit, folks. We've seen that all day down that left-hand side. Those rocks just kind of sit out there and hang as Den Hardig's into the hack and ready to go. And she wants to block up that left-hand side and protect her shot rock and keep the pressure on Skebby and Rohrabacher. Hardig and Kenlin talking about it for a minute, though, just to confirm that that is the plan and what they want to do. Lots of action. Second ends wrapping up here, folks. 90 minutes to start all your ends. If you cannot start an end after 90 minutes, we got underway at about 4:05 today. That means that no ends can start after 5:35. So some good action going on, though. Some tight games so far. We're early still, though. We'll keep you updated on scores. Den Hardig just with a beautiful shot down the right-hand side. She ended up going to the draw. She tapped the yellow rock back, and that's going to set Den Hardig and Kenlin sitting 2 right now, as Skebby and Rohrbacher are going to try for this hit again, and they're just going to narrow up, and Skebby saw enough last time, or Rohrbacher saw enough. One of them saw enough and said, I don't need to give myself that much space. I can just bring gas down the left-hand side. So this looks like it's going to be a big, heavy stone coming down the ice here for Skebby. Not much line. It looks like he doesn't think it's going to move much. He's just going to come right down that left-hand side and blow things up and really open things up. Rock by Skebby. Down that left-hand side. Needs it to move. Looks like it's moving a little better than it was last time. Not sure it's going to get across, but he's going to get something. Gets the tap, drives it back. Good shot by Skebby. Clearing some stuff out and cutting Charlotte down from potential 3-2. We'll see what Kenlin does here. Kenlin has a hit and roll here. He might try to hit that rock that Skebby just threw on the left-hand side there. Catch it just up, catch it a little bit to the right of center, so that way he clears the yellow rock out, and his rock just rolls right into scoring position. We'll see what he ends up doing, though. Lots of that's one option. Another option, he can come down the right side with some heavy weight, and he can run the red into the yellow and clear those out. We'll see, though, what they end up doing here. Two options really here. If he doesn't want to try, he does have a left-hand side draw, or right, he does have the draws on both sides if he wants, but looks like he's coming down that left-hand side. Not sure if that's the draw or the hit and roll. The line looks like a draw, not quite heavy enough to be the hit and roll, but I don't think he's going to be upset if he taps it. Kenlin with it. Then Kenlin trying to push it, trying to coax it towards the middle. Sweep by Kenlin. It's still going, and that's just going to settle as a guard. They end up going with plan B. I don't think that was plan A at all. They didn't want that just sitting up. They wanted to sit down in a scoring position where they couldn't clear their rocks out. Let's see what Skebby and Rohrbacher end up doing here. As Rohrbacher has a nice shot down the right-hand side here. Rohrbacher come down the right-hand side and catch the inside of the Charlotte rock and just push that out and keep her scoring rock and keep her rock in a scoring position. Or she could even try to really thin it and get creative and go for a double here, which is where you take 2 rocks out at once. She can catch, if she can just catch the inside of that one rock and kick that out, she can run her shooting rock in there, and that would lead to a big end for Skebby and Rohrbacher, scoring 3. Let's see if she's going big. So Rohrbacher settles into the hack, takes stock of what she has. Slides out and releases it, coming down the right-hand side. She's trying to get it across here. Let's see. Rohrbacher coming from working right to left on your screens, folks. Is it going to move enough? I don't think it is. She's going to get the hit, but she's not going to get the roll that she needs. And that's going to end with 2 for Kenlin and Den Hardig. Good shot by Rohrbacher. Just didn't move as much as she thought it was going to. As we're going to check in with some scores here as we reset on Sheet B. On Sheet C, we have Kristen Nickel and Gabriel Nickel up 3-0 now. The Nichols out of the 4 season curling clubs up 3-0 on Adrian Cruiser and Brett Kubrick. A and D are wrapping up their second ends here. On Sheet D, we've got some good action going on. Is currently Joyce Meyer and Kevin Berevic are sitting 1, and it looks like they have the hammer as well. They will come back down down the other way. We're going to flip our view and get to the far side of our featured sheet B, as it's 3-0 here for Den Hardig and Kenlin. Den Hardig and Kenlin pushing to start running away with this one a little bit, but they don't have Hammer anymore. That's Harley Rohrbacher and Vincent Skebby coming back with Hammer again this time. They didn't manage to score on their last one, but they might end up doing something here, as Schweitzer and Hagberg are talking about what they want to do here with their Hammer on sheet D. We'll keep you updated on that. Kenlin getting set on sheet B to deliver the lead stone for the Charlotte duo. Kenlin, long slide, long release, long stance coming down the right-hand side. Looks like he's going to try to draw in on the right-hand side for points. Just kind of start that pile in coming down the right-hand side. We'll see. Line looks good coming around. Going to be tight, maybe a little too wide. And just a little too wide from Kenlin. Oh, no, not too wide. Perfect shot from Kenlin, as it's a perfect replace by Kenlin. My apologies. That bit a lot more at the last second than I thought it was going to. Great shot by Matt Kenlin, as he just pushes the Yellow Rock back just enough to sit right in scoring position. Great shot there to put Kenlin and Den Hardig in the catbird seat on sheet B. On sheet D, Schweitzer's delivering what looks to be a draw down the right-hand side. Trying to draw in for two. Let's see if she can get it. They're on it. Both of them sweeping. Schweitzer and Hagberg sweeping furiously. They need to get it around. Let's see. Is it going to have enough on sheet D? Gonna be enough, as that's going to be two for Schweitzer and Hagberg on sheet D, as that's going to be two for them, going up 2-1 on McLaren and Meckenbauer, as Rohrbacher follows Kenlin's line almost to a T, maybe just a smidge tighter. Great throw. Skebby's on it, and that's just going to sit even better. Matthew Kenlin with an absolute dime on that one, and Rohrbacher says, anything you can do, I can do better, and sits it perfectly on the button to put yellow in the shot rock position. Great shot by Rohrbacher, and this is a great shot for a couple of reasons. One, it's sitting right on the button, so obviously it's a point right now. You can't get any closer. You can't get much closer than Rohrbacher got right there. Secondly, though, she didn't hit Kenlin's rock so hard that it cleared it out. So right now, if Den Hardig wanted to come down and hit Rohrbacher's rock, it's going to go right into Kenlin's rock, and it's not going anywhere. That's what we call a jammed up rock. Great shot by Rohrbacher there, as Den Hardig, as we have another draw game going on here. Get the pencils out, ladies and gentlemen, as both teams are drawn down that right-hand side. Den Hardig with a good throw, just going to try to nudge on the inside corner. Doesn't quite get enough. Line was right there. She just needed to throw it just a smidge harder, or Kenlin needed to sweep just a little bit harder. What she was trying to do there was she was just trying to tap the right-hand side of that rock enough to push it off of the center and just get it off center a little bit, so that way it was no longer just a great buried shot rock. This is an even harder situation now, as Rohrbacher has set her team up for a big end here, as she is currently sitting with a heavily protected shot rock, as Skebby steps into the hack to throw his first of three in this end. Looking over at sheet A, could be trouble there for Brown and Smith, as they're currently conceding 4, but Nicole Brown has Hammer. So we'll see if she can come down and clear these rocks out and either steal a point with Hammer or keep them from scoring 4, because that could be trouble if she can't clear some out. As Skebby sweeping his own stone again here on the feature sheet, sheet B. Skebby coming down that left side, going to try to draw around with a tight draw. Oh, nope, setting a guard. No, not a guard. That was somewhere between a guard and a draw, folks. I think he was going for a draw and just didn't get it as much as he wanted on it. But that's okay. That's going to work. That's going to be a nice guard. It blocks up that left-hand line a little bit more and just makes it, there might be a smidge uncovered there on the far left-hand side, but with how little that's turning on the left-hand side, and Nicole Brown does come down and score 1 for Brown and Smith to cut that to a 3-1 lead for Levy and Levy on sheet A. So that's one for yellow, Brown and Smith on sheet A as they head into the third end, coming back the other way. So here on sheet B, Den Hardig's rock was just a little too heavy out the back. Den Hardig's rock was just a little too heavy and it went out the back. Still, Rohrbacher and so we're continuing to move along here on our feature sheet, sheet B. Vincent Skebby in the hack coming out. The hack looks like he's going to try maybe just a little bit of a heavy draw to try to knock some stuff around, move some things around, sweeping his own stone here. Skebby's been a marathon man, doing it all, throwing the stone and sweeping it himself. That takes some confidence and skill. Skebby down the right-hand side there. Looks like he ended up just throwing another guard there. He's just trying, Skebby and Rohrbacher, it looks like, are just trying to junk things up there and take their one and continue on and maybe set themselves up to take a second with the hammer. We'll see. They've got hammer. They have the last rock. We'll see what they can do. Den Hardig steps into the hack now, getting ready to deliver her third and final stone of the end. Den Hardig going to come down that right side again. It looks like both teams favoring heavily this right-hand side. We'll see if she can get the tap action going on. She needs to tap hers into the yellow and tap everything. Just tap, 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 tap. Little bit of tap dancing needs to happen here. Not sure if she has the line. It's going to be tight. Needs to move. Not going to move enough. Going to hit the guard and just push that back. And that's going to leave Rohrbacher, or Skebby, with his final rock. Or no, not Skebby with his final rock.
Guys, finally got some rest? Yeah.
All right, we had a technical break there. We needed to check on some things as we got going. Thank you. So as we're looking at sheet B, as Kenlin and Den Hardig are both talking about what they want to do here. We got a cluster of stones there as we're trying to solve the Rubik's cube here, because they need to just tap some things around in the perfect sequence to push enough things back and push enough things off while also keeping their stones around the scoring position. We'll see if Kenlin can do it. Kenlin had a great shot on his first one to replace the back stone. We'll see if he can do it again here. Kenlin and Den Hardig still talking about it. Lots of discussion happening here. Not a bad thing. It's a good thing. They just aren't sure what to do. It's a very complex situation here. Coming down the right-hand side. Nice release by Kenlin. Let's see where the weight is, what he's going to try to do. Good shot by Kenlin. Looks like he's just going to try to draw in. Kenlin going to just tap some things around, guard some things up, and make it harder for Skebby and Rohrbacher to come down and take two here in the third end. So third end action here on sheet B. Skebby and Rohrbacher have the hammer, throwing the yellow rocks. They're talking about what they need to do here. We'll see what they do. Rohrbacher's going to throw the hammer again. She had an absolutely perfect shot with her first one that set up this complex Rubik's Cube of a situation here. We'll see whether she comes down the left or the right side. Thinking she's going to try to come down the left side if she's going to try to draw, or she'll just burn the stone and throw it down the side of the ice and keep it out of play, not even in consideration, and just take the one and move on to the next end. We'll see. Tricky situation here for Rohrbacher. She's going to try to come down that left side. Drawn in, she's got to go wide, and there hasn't been a lot of movement out there wide. Nope, she's just going to leave the stone out there and let it be, is what it looks like. So that's going to be one yellow, and we are on to our third end here, and that's 3-1 for Kenlin and Den Hardig on sheet B. Good end, as that's going to give Kenlin and Den Hardig the hammer back, as we're going to update you on all our scores on sheet C. Nickel and Nickel took another one out of 4 seasons in the third end, so that makes it 3-0 for Nickel and Nickel against Cruiser and Kubrick on sheet C. 4-0, sorry, that's 4-0 on sheet C, and we're waiting for results on sheet A and D. Folks, we're on our featured sheet here, sheet B. Den Hardig and Kenlin throwing the red rocks, taking on Harley, Rohrbacher, and Vincent Skebby throwing the yellow rocks, as Den Hardig and Kenlin took over hammer here. So that means they're throwing second, have the advantage, but Rohrbacher and Skebby have been throwing some beautiful stones here. Rohrbacher in particular been throwing some great shots, high accuracy, high degree of difficulty. Don't count them out from a multiple shot end here, as we have the set stones ready to go. And Rohrbacher coming down the right hand side for that draw. You see it coming down the right hand side of your screen. Both teams have been favored that side for their draws. They've got that side figured out. They've got the weight, they've got the line. Rohrbacher, great shot. Skebby, furious sweep, keeping it in. And that's going to be a great draw by Rohrbacher right to the back of the butt, touching the red rock. Good shot. So we're going to do updates for B and D in a minute here, folks, as those are getting down to it. B as A and D still in the third end, B and C moving right along in the fourth end, coming back down towards us as Matthew Kenlin delivers his first stone for Kenlin and Hardig. Also coming down that right-hand side again. Both teams favoring the right-hand side of the ice, as it's just a little bit more predictable with the draw. They've had more success. Good shot by Kenlin. Sweep by Hardig. Just tucks it away. Great shot by Kenlin. Going to clear that rock by Rohrbacher just a little bit. Enough. That's going to be enough, and that's it. That's red save one. Great shot by Kenlin. Would have liked to catch it a little harder if it had been possible, but that's a tricky shot because he needed to curl just enough to get around it. But what it does do is it unstacks those two rocks. Following that same draw line down the right-hand side of the draw has been very popular both times. And it looks like Skebby's going to come down that right-hand side and just draw behind and set pressure on Denmark and Kenlin. We're going to wait official confirmation on sheet D, but that looked like McLaren and Beckenbauer scored 3 there to put them up on Schweitzer and Hagman. Good shot by Skebby. Skebby with the right-hand side draw. Needs it to move a little bit more, just a little bit more. And it's going to sit right on the right-hand side of the button. Good shot by Skebby. Could have used a little bit more curl at the end there, but the rock and ice just didn't want to cooperate. That's going to leave an opportunity here for Den Hardig to hit either that rock on the right-hand side or the left-hand side. It's really her choice. She can get either of them pretty easily. I'm sorry, folks, I misspoke. That was 4 in the third end there for McLaren and Meckenbauer. 4 for Meckenberger and for McLaren and Meckenbauer there to make that a 5-2 game on sheet D. As Den Hardig coming down that right-hand side. Spoilers, it's a right-hand side draw for Den Hardig. Not going to bring in a lot of gas. She just wants to come down that right-hand side. Maybe tap it back a little bit. Looks like actually this is going to check up. And that's going to cross the face of the high guard. It's going to be a little guard right next to it. We got a wall. We've got the start of a great wall up there at the top of the house, blocking things up, not letting anybody get down into it. Good shot by Den Hardig to kind of just guard things up and put the pressure on Skebby. And put the pressure on Skebby and Rohrbacher. Sorry, folks, had a minute of technical difficulties there. We're all good, and by technical difficulties, I mean I have to sneeze. We're currently sitting at 3 for Rohrbacher and Skebby. That was a great shot by Skebby there to really clear some things out, put them in a 3-0 spot. Kenlin, with a good sweep, though, just hugged the inside of that. Great shot by Den Hardig. Great sweep by Kenlin, as that's a fantastic play shot, and that's going to put them in the shot rock position, putting all the pressure on Skebby here as he skates back down the ice. He had a good shot there to clear things out and put Rohrbacher and him in a 3-0 spot, but great shot by Den Hardig, great sweep by Kenlin, puts the pressure back on Skebby here with his final stone. Wrapping up the fourth end here, Skebby looks like he's going to try to do a heavy draw here. He plays that shot rock that was just dropped in by Den Hardig. Skebby's up, he's sweeping it, and doing it all. He's been shooting, he's been sweeping, he's been doing a good job of all of it. Good sweep by Skebby. Clear guard, nice tight shot. Is he going to get it over? He gets the rock. Great shot by Skebby to put them back scoring. Skebby with a fantastic shot and sweep to put him and his partner up 3-0. Let's see what they do here, coming back down the ice to score, and if they can try to get back in this one, they're going to give up a big end to Rohrbacher and Skebby. Kenlin and Den Hardig do have hammer here, courtesy of Skebby and Rohrbacher scoring in the last end. It hasn't made much of a difference for Skebby and Rohrbacher as they're playing aggressive, as they are putting lots of rocks in scoring positions. As Den Hardig delivers her final stone here. It's coming down that right-hand draw. She's going to try to just tap some things back and score. Let's see if she can do it. Kenlin's on it sweeping. A little wider than the other ones. Going to get a tap, but not sure they're going to get the tap in the place that they were hoping for. Still conceding 3 to Stephanie. We're talking about setting the guard at the top of the 12-foot to really put the pressure on. As we have an update from sheet A, is in the third end, Levy and Levy took another 2 to go up 5 to 1 as they head into the fourth end, coming back our way. So, sheet B, Rohrbacher, that's Harley Rohrbacher settling in here. As Rohrbacher doesn't quite get the guard that she was looking for, but it does sit out there as a little bit of a guard. Nice shot by Rohrbacher. She was hoping to end up a little wider to block things up. Kenlin is faced with a difficult situation here. He does have a shot down the right-hand side to tap up and try to start scoring and clearing some things out, but it's a very tight line. It's a very difficult shot as they've been dependent on those really tight to the guard draws and heavy throws, and Rohrbacher just blocked that up with a rock that's going to be difficult to get around with the line that they had been taking. Good defensive shot by Rohrbacher. I know they wanted that rock a little wider, but they're not really unhappy with where that's sitting as Kenlin comes back down the ice and settles in, getting ready to deliver a hammer here. Rohrbacher and Skebby currently sitting 3, which will catapult them to the lead against Denmark. Kenlin can do something about this if he doesn't have a lot of angles or shots to take here. Denmark and Kenlin talking it over, making sure they're happy with it. We're about 50 minutes into the 4 p.m. draw, a little over halfway through. All our games are in the fourth end, some are concluding in the fourth end, as we are going about 90 minutes to start 8th end. Then we finish Casey and Harding on field sweep to Harding sweeping Kenlin coming down the right-hand side. Let's see if Den Harding can get it. I don't think she's going to be able to. That's going to be 3 for Skebby and Rohrbacher, and that makes this a 4-3 game as we head to the 5th end between the Charlotte team of Den Harding and Kenlin taking on Rohrbacher and Skebby out of Pittsburgh Mayfield. So that's a 3-point end. Again, that's a 3-point end for Rohrbacher and Skebby, which make it 5-4 heading into the 5th end. That also means, though, that Den Harding and Kenlin are going to keep the hammer. Folks, as we're starting off this end here, we're going to talk to you about one of our sponsors here. Charlotte Curling Club is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. They're dependent upon our sponsors to help us be great. McKee Travel. Did you know that the average traveler spends about 90 hours researching a vacation? Take back your time and let McKee Travel customize your next trip. McKee Travel believes you should enjoy the trip of a lifetime without the worry. Whether you are looking to reconnect with your favorite person, make memories with your dearest friends and family, or plan a larger scale retreat, reunion, or incentive trip, McKee Travel will take care of every detail. McKee's Travel specialists create personalized, authentic travel experiences for people who want to travel smarter. They take care of the arrangements and you get attentive local service in your bucket list destination. Let McKee Travel create the ideal travel itinerary that works best for you. To find out more, visit McKee Travel, that's McKeetravel.com, or call 980-299-7564 to begin planning for your next Great adventure. McKee Travel. Travel smarter and farther. Folks, we're in the fifth end here of our 4 o'clock draw of the Southern Mixed Doubles Cashspiel here at the Charlotte Curling Club. We are focused in on our featured sheet on sheet B between Den Hardig and Kenlin out of the Charlotte Curling Club. They are currently trailing Harley Rohrbacher and Vincent Skevy out of Pittsburgh and Mayfield. Rohrbacher and Skevy are up 4-3 on Kenlin and Den Hardig. All two of our matches here are heading into the fifth end, as over on sheet C, Cruiser and Kubrick got on the board, and they are now traveling nickel and nickel 4-1 in as they head into their fifth end. Our other two matches are still in the fourth end. So we got an interesting situation starting up here on sheet B, as Den Hardig and Kenlin started with the scoring rock in the back of the house, and so far we've had two rocks just sit at the top of the house, and Vincent Skevy steps into the hack wondering what his plan can be here to try to get down into a scoring position. He's got to try to come down and draw down this left-hand side, which has been challenging for a lot of teams, as that left-hand side hasn't wanted to curl as much as the right-hand side. But Skevy, that rock's starting to move. Maybe he figured it out. Good rock by Skevy. Weight looks nice. The question is will it curl? Starting to move. Skevy needs it to finish, but I don't think it's going to have enough to finish over where he wants it. And Skevy, one of the better shots down the left-hand side that we've seen. Just there's not a lot of movement once you get out there far on the left-hand side. And Skevy found that out the hard way, as that just kind of hung out there and never moved enough. The weight was perfect for his shot. It just didn't move. Casey Den Hardig settles in here, getting ready to throw her first rock. Matthew Kenlin set a guard up, and we have that trio of three stones across the top. Den Hardig has a couple of options here. She has a curl around the right side, or she has a hit and roll off that rock that Skevy just threw. A hit and roll off the left-hand side might be the move for Den Hardig, because she can clear that Skevy rock out, and then also set her rock comfortably behind all of the guards sitting at the top of the house. So we'll see what Den Hardig does here. As she's coming down the left-hand side, she's throwing that hit and roll. Kenlin is key to the sweep here. He needs to keep it in position, maybe even push it a little bit. She needs to catch it on the inside of that rock. Looks like she's going to. Kenlin's on for the sweep. Didn't move enough. Ooh, that rock just sat out there on the left-hand side, folks. There hasn't been a lot of movement from left to right. Good shot, though, by Den Hardig. Just didn't move as much as she was hoping it was. As Skevy and Rohrbacher talking about what they want to do. Looks like they're going to try to draw down again, just with a little less ice. They're giving a little narrower target. Going to try to come left to right there. We'll see what Skevy can do here as he comes back and settles into the hack. Rohrbacher giving him a little less ice than last time, so a narrower target, and hopes that they can get it around those guards and pull it in to a scoring position. They just need to get it inside of that red rock that Den Hardig and Kenlin started with. Skevy slides out, coming down that left-hand side. The line looks pretty good. He's sweeping it. He can't sweep it too much because he needs it to move, but he needs to hold it out there. It's this giant catch-22, as if he sweeps it too hard, it's going to stay out there. It's going to get around that guard. Good throw by Skevy. Is it going to finish curling? No, it's just a little too heavy. It didn't want to come back at all, as that's just going to go through the house. Den Hardig and Kenlin currently sitting 2, as Den Hardig settles in for her third rock. As on sheet D, we have an update to the score as a 3-point end for Schweitzer and Hagberg ties it up at 5 heading into the fifth end there. So that's 5 apiece between Schweitzer and Hagberg have 5, tied with McLaren and Mechbeyer. So good battle going on there on sheet D. We'll check in with that if we get a chance. Uh, Den Hardig ended up coming down that left hand side. She's trying to throw the draw that eluded Skebby on his last two rocks. Den Hardig, good throw by Den Hardig. Just a little too much weight though, but it's going to stick around in the back of the house. As Skebby and Rohrbacher are talking about what they want to do. Rohrbacher has it set for that left hand, for that left side draw again. The teams have started to figure that ice out. It just hasn't moved as much as they hoped it would. But we'll see. Good throw by Skebby. Weight looks good. Skebby sweeping his own stone coming down the left hand side. Good line. I don't know that it's going to move as much as he was hoping it was. Good throw by Skebby. Buries it on top. Out counts it for second, but still hasn't done anything about that shot rock. As Kenlin and Den Hardig get set for Den Hardig's last rock here. We'll see that left hand side has been in play. The right hand side is definitely taken out of play right now with the position of that starter rock. And that's been the trouble for both teams, or not both teams, but for Rohrbacher and Skebby, is that that starter rock was buried so well by the initial shots, it set it up as a problem. So we'll see what Den Hardig and Kenlin do. I think they want to keep coming down that left-hand side, try to work left to right, get in, and just pile in for some more points. It's Den Hardig. Good line, good throw. The question is can they get it? Can they sweep it around the guard without having it so swept that it stays straight and doesn't curl? Kenlin's on it. Hard sweep by Kenlin. Needs to keep it around that edge. Good sweep by Kenlin. Good shot by Den Hardig, but it's not going to get into a scoring position. It's just going to kind of chunk up some things out there. We'll see what Rohrbacher does here with her final stone. There is still a draw slot down the left-hand side. She has a port there between that high red guard and that red stone at the top of the 12-foot. We'll see if she can thread the needle going through there to get into the back and score. Oh, they're talking about the right-hand side now. They're wondering, can they get it in a good position to where it'll move far enough right to left to score. As they've come up with their mind, we'll see. We'll let you know as Rohrbacher delivers. She's had some wonderful shots today. Still trying to figure out if she's coming from the right or the left. I think she's going to come from the right side here based on Skebby's sweeping position. He's going to try to sweep that. So that's the right side heading down the left side of the delivery. So you'll see her put that rock to the left side of your delivery screen, and it'll start on the left and it'll finish on the right there as it comes across. Yep, there it is. She's going to try to draw around behind those guards, right to left. As Skebby's on it, he's going to try to push it and not even hold it. She might have been a little wider than they were hoping there. Skebby on it for a hard sweep. It's going to be wide, and it's just going to stay out there. It doesn't want to curl back once you get out that wide. That's been the trouble for both teams. It just kind of chilled out there in the thick stuff on the far right. Difficult shot. They were hoping it was going to come back, and it just didn't want to come back enough. As Kenlin settles in for hammer here for the Charlotte team, is they have an opportunity here if they can draw down that right side or that left side. They just need to put this rock closer than that yellow rock at the back. You see it in the top left of the house there. The house is that target painted on the ice. They just need to get it closer than that yellow rock back there. Let's see if Kenlin can do it. Kenlin Slides out, good delivery. Good shot by Kenlin. Den Hardig's on it. She needs to hold it, needs to get it around that guard. This has been the bugbear of all the teams coming down this left-hand side, is they have to sweep it hard to keep it around that guard, but then it doesn't want to curl. They're around the guard. They're still on it. They want it deeper, and they get it. That's going to be close, folks. I think that's a measurement, but I think that's going to be one red. We'll wait for an official number there to get hung by the participants. As we're looking at sheet C now, coming back in the sixth end, where Cruiser and Kubrick stole a point there to make it a 4-2 game on sheet C. As they're coming back in the sixth end, battle there between the Four Seasons, Nickel and Nickel, taking on Cruiser and Kubrick out of Charlotte. A good match going on there. Maybe we'll be able to jump over there for some bonus coverage after we finish our featured sheet B match. We're sticking here on sheet B. We want to focus in on one game, give you a good, high-quality broadcast here, as that's going to be 1 point for red. Kenlin and Den Hardig score one, as that's going to be that's going to tie it up at 4 on sheet B, as we're all tied at 4 on sheet B, coming back our way in the sixth end, coming back towards the warm room. Kenlin settles in. He's going to try to come down the right-hand side and place that starter stone in the back of the house. Good line by Kenlin. Wait, looks good. That right side has been where these teams have been feasting. They've got that right side dialed in. As Den Hardig sweeping. Needs to get around. Kenlin tries to sweep. Not going to be enough. As they're going to split those, and they're just going to kind of set up with a heavy guard presence up high, as well as that one on the left side scoring. This is going to be interesting. Red has kind of set this up as a more challenging game for both parties, as they just set those two guards. As they just put a guard, as they place the guard in the center, and they push the guard to the left-hand side. So we'll see what Rohrabacher does here to start off and kind of declare her intentions on how she wants to play this. So Rohrabacher is going to come down the right-hand side and try to draw, the left-hand side and try to draw through that narrow porch. She has space to do it, but it is a tight needle to thread because she has to keep it tight to that high point. We can't go so far to like she did. What a throw by Rohrabacher. Threads the needle. Might have just been a little too heavy. We'll see where her rock ends up. It's going to stick around, and that's 2 yellow right now. The problem for that, the challenge for that for yellow is going to be Rohrabacher getting back a little bit harder. But she was planning this one with the so below the T line. You can see that line going through the center of the house, the center of the target. That's the T line. The strategy here is if you're below the T line like that, means is someone can just throw a rock to your rock, and they are now closer to the scoring position than your rock, and that really creates problems for the team. And Rohrabacher and Skevy not necessarily in trouble, but it's going to be something they're going to have to pay attention to, because Den Hardig right now can try to follow that throw from Rohrabacher right down and just sit in a scoring position, and she can sit, if she can sit this rock perfectly on Rohrabacher's rock, that's going to lock up and point for Den Hardig and Kenlin. As Den Hardig, good throw, good sweep by Kenlin, needs to get around that side. Looks like he's gonna just tuck it around. Great sweep by Kenlin, great throw by Den Hardig. It's gonna sit. It's not gonna sit. It's gonna tap it a little more and leave it a little exposed. Not too exposed, but just enough for Rohrabacher and Skevy can still get to it. Both teams are playing through this narrow window that was after that first red rock tapped the set guard stone back. As sheets D and C, or D and A are finishing up. Their fifth end is now moving slowly. Some tight games all around here. In the sixth end, coming back towards the road as Vincent Skevy settles in for Skevy and Rohrabacher. Skevy trying to come in through that narrow left side draw port. Throw by Skevy. The line looks there. We'll see if he can hold it there. Might be a hair wide. Needs it that's going to be just enough. Great throw by Scabby, but doesn't move as much as he was hoping. He can't get over to that red rock. He taps his own back, which isn't terrible, but it's not exactly what he was trying to do. He needed it. He was a little wide there on his throws, which in this case means he was left of the target, and that means that the rock just sat a little bit longer. You saw it was really close to that guard on the left-hand side, and he just couldn't get over and get to that red rock, which is the challenge when these rocks are well guarded, like Denhard and Kenlin's scoring rock is right now. So we'll see Denharding coming down that left-hand side, trying to follow down that road. We'll see if she's going to guard or score. Throw by Denhard. Kenlin up for the sweep. He's trying to sweep. He's trying to push it over. They're trying to get that rock to move just a little bit more. Not sure if they're trying to follow through that draw point to score or just block it up. It looks like they're just trying to block it up. And it looks like Denhard did a good job of that. As you can see, that's narrow that you can go through. You can still go through that gap and get down to the button. Boy, you got to be on. You got to be walking a quarter at most to go through there at the top of the house. We'll see if Scabby can this still happen. As it looks like that's what they're calling. They're going to try to come down heavy through that draw board as Scabby has to bring the heat and he has to go through
looks like 3/4.
Throw by Scabby is out. Sweeping it. Needs it to move a little bit right to left to get through that. Left to right to get through that port. Sweep. Not going to be enough as it's going to tick the guard. And that's just going to further congest that top of the house and create challenges there. As Kenlin and Denhard getting set for their next shot. We'll see if they try to follow through that port or if they try to draw down the right-hand side. That's a little bit more favorable that's been a little bit more favorable to other teams. So we'll see what Denhard does here. Denhard is going to try to come through that draw port. The teams think that draw port is big enough to still get it. It did open up a little bit, but you can't be too far left because otherwise it's going to hit that yellow rock that's in it's stacked between the two. Let's see if Denhard found the line. That was nice. The weight might be there. No, she threw a guard. My apologies. It's tough to tell whether these are sometimes when these teams are throwing a guard or a draw. Denhard throws a beautiful draw that just stops things up. So Denhard and Kenlin are just going to try to take a point here. You know, they didn't have him. So if they score here, they're going to do a good job of pushing things. So we'll see if Denhard and Kenlin, what they do here, if they can hold on to Scabby and start getting some points and score some points with Hammer. It's going to be a tough path for Rocker and Scabby as they're going to have to come down this right-hand side and try to draw behind everything. Scabby slides out. Scabby down the right-hand side needs to get around that guard. Let's see, might have it. It's going to be tight. Scabby needs to squeeze past the guard. Needs to hold it there. Good throw by Scabby. Isn't going to have enough to move stuff. Oh, still just not enough to move Denhard and Kenlin's rock. That is a sticky one. It just does not move the spot. As we have an update on sheet D, 1 point for Schweitzer and Hagberg in the fifth end to make that a 6-5 score for Schweitzer and Hagberg as Kenlin settles into the hag for his final rock here. So, Rohrbacher's in the hack here, ready to throw hammer, and they are currently seeing it's currently one for Kenlin and Denmark. As Rohrbacher is staring at a mess here in the house of just rocks on top of two rocks on top of two rocks on top of two rocks. Just all sorts of challenges here for Rohrbacher. She needs to try to come down and tap things just so. We'll see if she has the magic touch coming down the right-hand side. The line looks good. Skebby's on it hard. He needs to get it around that high guard to have a chance of doing anything. He gets it around that guard. There's the tap. There's the tap. Clears it out, and that's going to be two for Rohrbacher and Skebby. Great throw by Harley Rohrbacher here to score two for the hybrid Pittsburgh Mayfield player. Two in the sixth end here for Rohrbacher against Skebby in our featured sheet B, as they're headed to the seventh, going back down. Nice. So great shot there by Rohrbacher to just tap everything exactly where it needed to be tapped. She needed to tap it just on the high side to just move those rocks around perfectly. She got the rolls, she had the angles. Good shot, not just a great shot, really, to put her team up two heading into the seventh end as Den Hardig and Kenlin declaring this as their power play, which means instead of the rocks starting in the center, we shift them to one side, we shift them to the right side of your screen. As you can see, we're going to flip from near to our far. So you can see they've got the rock set up on the far right side. This is to keep that center open, and it generally leads to some big scores here, which Den Hardig and Kenlin are hoping for as they want to put some points on the board down two in the seventh end. They have two ends left here on our featured sheet B. Rohrbacher, fresh off that absolutely perfect shot she threw in the sixth end to score two, throws a nice guard there, sets a center guard, is going to force Den Hardig and Kenlin to play around it and play the game that she wants to play. Good shot. As we also have a power play on sheet C, Cruiser and Kubrick are currently down. We're waiting on a score update there, but they're down a bunch heading into the seventh, so they've declared their power play also set up to the right side. Kenlin's going to try to come down this right side and draw behind that guard that Rohrbacher just set. Good slide, good release. Came out clean there. Den Hardig's on it, trying to sweep. She's going to have to sweep it around that guard to get around in behind. Ooh, that moved a bit more. Or maybe they were trying to set a guard there. My apologies. They might have been trying to set... Oh, I see what they were trying to do. Folks, they were trying to split the house here. They were hoping for that to be a little heavier so that way they could be scoring two rocks right now and force Rohrbacher and Skebby to chase one of them by not setting that red rock in a scoring position. It gives Rohrbacher and Skebby a chance to hold on to things here, as we now see the score on sheet C is now 5-2. 1 point for Nickel and Nickel out of 4 seasons curling. Good end for them as they are currently up 5-2. We have a 2 point game here on sheet B as well. And over on sheet A, we have the fifth end concluded. A 3 point end for Jenny and Ben Levy out of Detroit to put them up 9-1 on Nicole Brown and Ryan Smith. Big end there as they're heading into the sixth on sheet A. Good throw there by Skebby. Gets it around his guard, as that's going to be sitting right on the forefoot, but he didn't get that covered up enough to be of much help. As Den Hardig settles in for her next rock, currently probably looking to take that yellow rock that was just thrown out. It's sitting out there just chilling on the edge of the forefoot. It's a good opportunity for her to clear this out, and if she plays it right, she can roll it to the left and end up with that split house that they were aiming for on her first rock. So it looks like that might be what she's trying to do. That rock has good speed on it. Good line from Den Hardig. Kenlin's on it for the sweep. He's got to try to hold. He's got to try to have that hit perfectly. They needed to catch and roll to the left. Needs to keep moving. I don't think they're going to get enough movement out of it. Den Hardig gets the tap, but doesn't get it to move like she wanted to, as that yellow is now a little trickier to get to, as you can no longer come from right to left. You kind of got to come at it straight from the left side, as Rohrbacher and Skebby are talking about guarding it up and protecting their 1 point lead here. So let's see what Skebby does here. They might try to come down and guard things up on the left-hand side there. Skebby coming down the left-hand side there. Looks like that's going to be a guard weight. He's just going to, maybe not, maybe a little heavier than guard weight. Let's see where this finishes. Tough to tell down that when you get on the outside there, as it's less played down, stuff slows down a little quicker. Skebby sweeping, as he just taps off of that, trying to guard things up, but it opens it up a little bit more than I think they intended. I think they were trying to set a guard, and then they were hoping to get a tap and just a light roll, but it moved a little bit more than they thought it was, as Den Hardig has another chance to hit this yellow shot rock. We'll see if she can get down there to it and clear it out. Den Hardig and Kenlin talking about exactly how they want to hit this rock. It's important, whether they hit it on the right or the left side. If they hit it on the left side, they have a lot less space for it to stick around, so they need to hit it pretty center. If they hit it on the right side, they can roll. They have a little bit more room to roll it, but it puts their rocks closer together, which is something that they want to avoid. Den Hardig's going right to left here. Kenlin's going to need to sweep to hold this there. That looks like it's going to want to move a lot to the left. Let's see if Kenlin can hold it. Kenlin with the hard sweep, as that's going to move a lot more than I think they were planning on, as that's going to push another one into the house, and Kenlin can't sweep it out, as that's currently 2 for Rohrbacher and Skebby, as that's going to put Kenlin and Den Hardig in a difficult situation here in the 7th end, as Rohrbacher and Skebby are currently sitting 2. Very nice shot for them. or good luck, good roll for them there to put them in a position to be scoring two. They already have a 2 point lead. 4 point lead would be a lot for Kenlin and Den Hardig to overcome. As Skebby and Rohrbacher are talking about what they want to do, whether they want to work from left to right on the as you look at the house, or if they want to work right to left. They kind of want to guard up their shots and just hold this. They don't have hammer right now. That rests with the red team, but so they need to protect the shot, protect the points that they have, and put the pressure on Den Hardig and Kenlin. So Skebby coming back down the ice, getting ready to settle in. Let's see what he delivers. Currently sitting two there. This would give them. This could is threatening to push the game to a 4 point spread, making life very difficult on the duo from Charlotte coming back in the eighth end. Skebby gonna work right to left. It looks like we'll see how this comes down. Good slide by Skebby. Good throw. Let's see. Looks like he's trying to just draw, maybe guard or draw there. Let's see where this is going to finish. Just trying to guard his rock in the back there. Really making it a mess. Oh, it's going to be a little heavier than that. And he actually might have been trying to draw down and put that in for 3 points. Couldn't get it any further in. He came close. Almost got the sweep on. As Casey Den Hardig settles in, and she needs to clear one of these two yellow rocks out to put to give Red a chance here, heading into the eighth end. As Den Hardig and Kenlin are talking about it, let's see which way they can go here. There's lots of action here, lots of stuff. Some of these games are starting to really open up into some bigger spreads. As Casey Den Hardig settles in for her final rock of this end for the red team. Den Hardig's going to come right to left. Looks like she wants to hit some stuff and move some things out of the way. Good throw by Den Hardig. Kenlin's on for the sweep. Let's see. They have a hit and roll opportunity here. Maybe even a double if they hit it exactly right. Good throw by Den Hardig. Good sweep by Kenlin. Doesn't quite move like they need it to. That rock hasn't been moving as much left to right as you would have thought, but it didn't quite get over where they needed it, and that's still sitting out there. Which means that Skebby and Rohrbacher now can do the hit and roll that Den Hardig and Kenlin missed. So this could be an opportunity for the duo throwing the yellow rocks to score three, and get up even bigger. Skebby and Rohrbacher settled on what they want to do. Probably that hit and roll, looking at what's available here. It's nice and open. They're going to try to catch the right side of that red rock that's currently shot, roll over behind all the guards, and score it. It sounds easy enough in theory, but the practice is a lot harder, especially when this left side of the ice has been a lot trickier for hit and rolls. It hasn't been moving how you want it to, coming from left to right. It's been sitting out there a little bit more, and it hasn't been played down as much, so it's a little slower, so your pace and weight is off a little bit. We'll see what Rohrbacher does, though. She's been a wizard with these late shots and has put her team in a position to win big. Rohrbacher has a nice line. The weight looks good. It's not going to be too much of a roll. It's going to be a light hit and roll, but that's what she needs. She needs the touch on this one. Skebby's on it. He's sweeping hard. He needs to get it over there. This looks similar to Den Hardig's, but it looks like it moved a little bit more. Skebby's trying to hold it there. He's going to catch it. No, he just missed it. Great shot by Rohrbacher, but just moved a little bit more than they were thinking it was going to. And this puts Den Hardig and Kenlin with a chance to score three. It's a very difficult shot to that yellow rock at the back of the house, but there is a corner open on it. They can get down to, if Kenlin can throw a takeout back to that, not even a takeout, a heavy draw, he needs to just tap that outside his red rock on the far right, and Kenlin and Den Hardig can jump right back into this as they're discussing what they have open right now. Den Hardig and Kenlin are taking a long, hard look at this. They're currently sitting one. If they can get two, that takes them to an eighth end opportunity, and all they need to do then is score one. It's effectively an overtime game at that point in the eighth end, all tied at 6. And we have an update from Sheet C. 3 points for Cruiser and Kubrick to make it a tie game at 5, all tied up at 5. Cruiser and Kubrick with a big end to tie up nickel and nickel, all tied at 5 in Sheet C. And if we see some movement here on Sheet B or something wrapping up, we'll get over to get you some bonus coverage on Sheet C, but we'll keep you apprised of what's happening on Sheet C as we get a tie game coming back our way in the 8th end on Sheet C. Kenlin settling in for his final shot hammer here. Kenlin and Den Hardig with a chance to score big as Kenlin's going to come down that right side. He brings the heat. He's got the gas. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, he might want that all. He might be going for the double there. Den Hardig's on. Den Hardig's on with a heavy sweep. He wants the double. He wants it all. He gets one. He gets two. And it rolls it out. That's going to be 2 for Den Hardig and Kenlin. What a shot by Matt Kenlin. You hear the cheers in the warm room. Just needed a little bit more on it to make it 3, but 2 is good enough, and we got a tie game on our game of the draw heading into Sheet B. Folks, stay right here. 1 point is going to win it. Whoever scores in the 8th end is going to take it here after 2 points for Den Hardig and Kenlin on a beautiful double by Matthew Kenlin. Clears one fully out and pushes one just out of scoring position. Great throw by Kenlin, as we're going to make sure that we flip back down to show you the near house as we're coming back on Sheet C, or Sheet B, sorry, on Sheet C. Yellow is currently sitting 1, nickel and nickel have their starting rock sitting 1. They have hammer, and that puts the pressure on Cruiser and Kubrick, but they're not out of it. They just need to score 1 to win this one, as we have 2 tie matches here on the center sheets. Good action here. So we got 2 games coming back in the 8th end. We've got 1 game wrapping up at 7th, and 1 game just wrapped, and 1 game looks like they have wrapped. Our Sheet A game has wrapped. That's a final score over there. Looks like final is going to be 9-1. That's going to be Jenny and Ben Levy over Nicole Brown and Ryan Smith. That's a final on Sheet A. So the duo from Detroit moves to 1-1 on Sheet B. It looks like we have a power play for Harley Rohrbacher and Vincent Scabby, which is going to put them in a really good position, because all they need to do is score 1, and they win this match against Kenlin and Den Hardig. They saved their power play. They didn't need it all game, and now they have it in the critical 8th end. We just saw a remarkable shot on Sheet D, ladies and gentlemen, right in front of us. McLaren and Eckenbeyer just scored 3 to jump out to an 8-7 lead over Schweitzer and Hagberg. Or no, haven't quite scored 3 yet. There are still plenty of rocks left. I apologize for being premature with that score call. McLaren and Eckenbeyer are currently sitting 3 over Schweitzer and Hagberg, putting the pressure on the duo out of Chaska. Harley Rohrbacher settling in here. Currently sitting 1 with 2 points in front of her. Rocks, this puts her and Skevy in the driver's seat. She's sitting 1, she's scoring 1. All she needs to do is just keep piling rocks in this tie game. They don't need to score a bunch, they just need to score 1. Rohrbacher's coming down that center line with a throw. Gonna get around that guard. Isn't to the left. I think she needs it. Didn't quite get it to his Rohrbacher's out the back. His Rohrbacher's out the back of the house, and that's still sitting 1 for Rohrbacher. And still Rohrbacher and Skevy sitting 1. Den Hardig settles in. She needs to draw right to left. Then goes to high guards and settle for. Then get in for a point. She needs to start putting the pressure on Scabby and Rohrabacher. They need to put one close to the 4 foot here. We'll see if they can do it, if they can make that happen. Den Hardig, nice release, nice line. The line looks good for that right to left break that she needs. Let's see, is it going to make it around? Kenlin's off on the sweep. Don't know that she has it. It's going to be right. It's just going to keep guarding things up on the left side. Not exactly sure what the plan is here for Den Hardig. Den Hardig doesn't look thrilled with how that rock ended up, so I don't think that was the plan. So let's see what Scabby and Rohrabacher are settling in. Looks like they want to try to draw in and put one in for another point. They're really just trying to score and score and score and score. It's going to be interesting here to see if he can make this shot, because this right to left has been moving a little bit more than it was at the start of the game. So you have to throw it enough to get around those guys, but also light enough that the curl is going to catch it and move it. Scabby's on it with the sweep. He's taking a wide line here, and he's got to hold it. One sweep. This is a challenging rock to hold out there as Rohrabacher comes out to join it. Rohrabacher on it too, two sweeping. Can they get it around? They get it around. What a sweep by Rohrabacher and Scabby, and it settles just on the edge of the 8 foot. Good shot by Scabby. Great sweep by Scabby and Rohrabacher. Great shot by Scabby, as that's now sitting at the top of the 12 foot. 2 for Scabby and Rohrabacher here in the critical 8th end. Checking in over on sheet C, we see that Nickel and Kristen and Gabriel Nickel are currently sitting 2 against Adrian Cruiser and Brett Kubricht. That game also tied in the 5th end. Some exciting action here as we close out the 4 p.m. draw at the Southern Mixed Doubles Cashspiel. Sheet D also has some action going on. Is currently McLaren and Meckenbauer sitting 3 against Schweitzer and Hagberg, as that's putting a lot of pressure on Schweitzer and Hagberg, as they have to do something here, as they are fast running out of rocks and running out of real estate. With their 2-point lead, they might not have time to start another end. Sheet D is in their final end here. They're cutting it close. They might be able to get another end here. We're going to see where this ends up. They are cutting it close on sheet D. They don't have anything. They just have 90 minutes to start their 8th end. We'll see. It looks like they are going to finish it up, and it's going to be a 4-point end for McLaurin on sheet D, and that's going to give them a 2-point lead over Schweitzer heading into the 8th end, as they have time to start an 8th end on sheet D. So we're definitely going to get some extra coverage there. Is Den Hardig and Ken or Scabby throwing down the right side here? He's got that draw dialed in right now. So he just tucked that behind the guard again, and that's going to put pressure on Den Hardig and Kenlin, as they are running the rocks here to make something happen. On sheet C, it's still the Nichols sitting with 2, which would give them the win against Cruiser and Kubricht. As lots of these games are starting to run out of rocks and starting to run out of chances to score. Den Hardig settling in to the hack here. On sheet B, our featured sheet, she needs to hit she has a difficult draw shot here to come around with those high guards and settle in and out-count Rohrabacher and Scabby's shot. Good slide by Den Hardig. Good throw. The line looks good. The weight looks nice. Let's see if she can bring it on. Let's see if Kenlin can bring it on down with the sweep. Kenlin with a good sweep down the right side, gets around the rock. Good throw by Den Harding. Just a little too much by Den Harding. It might have been just a little bit too much sweep, or it might have been that last sweep at the end by Skevy that cleared it out and makes it trouble for Den Harding and Kenlin. Rocker and Skevy currently sitting 1, 2 runs left. Skevy. Maybe just one left. Skevy's back down to throw another one here. We'll see what he's going to do. So we have a discussion going on D about what they're supposed to do, what they can do. Not sure what the discussion is. Sheet B continuing on, continuing to be. Skevy on sheet B. Ooh, so that was a heavy takeout on sheet C. That leaves it 2. Nickel and Skevy's coming down the right side, trying to put a guard up there and block up that line. Skevy sets a nice guard there to block up that line, and Kenlin and Harding are coming down. And this really starts to cut down the options for Kenlin and here in the 8th end. Critical 8 end. 1 point's going to win it. And currently that 1 point belongs to Rohrabacher and Skevy. Rohrabacher and Skevy sitting 1 with 1 or 2 rocks left. Not exactly sure. Kenlin and Harding are taking their time talking about this one because they have to put a rock in this position here, and they do not have a lot of space to make this happen. We'll see if they can thread this needle. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Maybe they're going for a tap, maybe they're going to go for a draw, but they don't have a lot of options here. They might be able, no, they don't have room down that left-hand side. The left-hand side is completely out of play. All they can do is come down the right-hand side, and that's what's really going to make this challenging. As on sheet C, Cruiser's trying to draw to the button to put Cruiser and Kubrick in control. We'll see if she did it. It might be a little heavy as Nichols out to sweep, sweeps it, gets it clear. As that's going to be game. Nickel and Nickel take down Kubrick and Cruiser in the 8th end. Kenlin versus Stone. Then Harding's on it. He's getting in on 2 sweepers on the rock here. They need to get it around that guard. I'm not sure if they're going to get it around. It's not going to. It's going to tap that guard. And that's going to be shakes all around as that's game as Rohrabacher and Skevy take that one. As all we have left now is a tight game on sheet D. We're going to jump over there for some extended coverage. You're getting lucky here, folks. Get excited. We get extended coverage on sheet D. We don't necessarily have the best camera set up here on sheet D, but it's better than nothing. So sheet D currently, you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see 2 points currently for Schweitzer and Hagberg sitting, and that would tie this one up in the 8th end. Currently, McLaren and Meckenbauer are up 9-7. The score on your screen is accurate. But we are actually in the 8th end, not the 6th end. My apologies, folks. 8th end here on sheet D. Last game rolling right now. Last match going. You got some excitement. You get some fun bonus curling here at the Charlotte Curling Club. As that's Blake Hagberg setting in there. His team up 2. Good throw, coming heavy. He's going to try to clear that red at the top of the house out and just clear out McLaren and Meckenbauer's chances to score. Good shot by Hagberg. Clears some things out as that's currently 3 sitting for Schweitzer and Hagberg, as that would give them the win right here. And that puts the ball in McLaren and Meckenbauer's court. 2 rocks into this 8th end. We got 3 rocks. Yeah, 3 rocks left apiece as Schweitzer and Hagberg have hammer, so they need to hold this. They need to hold hammer here in order to win. So we'll see here. We're going to have an exciting finish here, as this is the only match going on the entire ice right now. Everybody's keyed in, everybody's focused, everybody's watching, and everybody is excited. Good throw by Meckenbauer coming down that right side, looking to hit and clear some things out. Schweitz, McLaren's on for the sweep. Good sweep, gets one, and that's all they're going to get. He was looking for the double, but he couldn't get both. Currently sitting 2 for yellow. This is a 2-point lead here in the 8th end. McLaren and Meckenbauer up 9-7 on Schweitzer and Hagberg. Schweitzer and Hagberg have got to this 8th end. This one ended up in the 8th end by the skin of its teeth, mere seconds away from being timed out, hitting the 90-minute mark, but they got the 8th end started before the 90th minute struck. So Blake Hagberg settles in now into the hack, going to try to clear this out, but keep his shooter around, because Hagberg and Schweitzer are trying to score 3 to win this one in the 8th. Last game going in our 4 o'clock draw. We're going to take a little bit of break for dinner, and then we'll be back at the 7 o'clock draw. Good slide by Hagberg coming down that center line. I'm going to try to move from left to right on your screen. You can see the top-down view in the bottom right hand. Good throw. Hit, clears it out, doesn't hit his. Good throw by Hagberg, as they're just right now this is a cat and mouse game, as Schweitzer and Hagberg are trying to keep from giving McLaren and Meckenbauer a double here, because as soon as they give them a double, the way these two teams have been throwing rocks, McLaren and Meckenbauer are going to take advantage of that double and clear it out. And that's going to put Schweitzer and Hagberg in a very difficult position. Although Schweitzer and Hagberg have the hammer, they don't want this to come down to a tie game. They need to make sure that they score 3 here to win this outright. And that has them in a difficult position, because they have to keep hitting these rocks just so that way there's no angle for them to be doubled. And they might have made that mistake here, as there is a double on the board, as they need to hit this clean. They need to hit the yellow rock at the top of the house clean, run it into the rock at the bottom right of your screen. You can see it in that far corner. Sorry, we have the split screen there on the houses. Wish we had a better angle, but we didn't have the camera set for it. We're going to work on that for our future broadcasts. They're talking about it. They're looking to see if they have that double available. I think they do, but we'll see if they think they do. It'll be interesting to see if they can hit this. Kevin Meckenbauer settles in here. The team out of Denver currently up 9-7 on the team out of Chaska. Meckenbauer is taking a long look at this. He likes what he sees. This is his chance. Slides out. He's going to work right to left. He's going to try to get across the face of that stone. No, he's going to try to thin the top one and go down to the back one. Let's see. Does he get it? Gets the 1. Gets 2. Doesn't quite clear them both out. Wasn't trying to thin it. Was trying to go to the far left one. That was a bold throw there. Is currently Schweitzer and Hagberg sitting 3 with a rock. So let's see, they're talking about what they want to do, whether they want to throw a guard or whether they want to try to throw one to score and put themselves in a 4 spot. Good. And let's see what Hagberg does here. Good throw coming down the center. 2 sweeps. Hagberg and Schweitzer both on it, sweeping, trying to keep it up. Going to try to set this where it can't be doubled, but also where it is touching and scoring. Ooh, that's going to be deep, and that might be double. Oh, that is very doubleable. This is trouble here for the couple out of Chaska, for the team out of Chaska here, as those are right next to each other. Let's see what McLaren and Meckenbauer here do here. This is their last rock. If they can clear these two out and sit there, oh, they need to get a lot of these now that I look at this. This is going to be challenging. Their best shot actually might be to come down and try to sit between the two rocks in the bottom right. They're not trying to take out. They need to draw down and sit between, and they need to sit on something. And let's see what they're going to do. They're going to try to sit on the rock. Yep, they're going to try to sit on these two rocks at the back. They're going to need it to move a bunch and need it to sit just right so that way it can't get taken out. It's moving enough. It's moving. It's starting to break. But I don't know that it's going to get on both of them. Great shot there as you hear the claps in the warm room as now Meckenbauer and McLaren are talking, or Schweitzer and Hagberg are talking about how they can come down and hit that. They have to catch it perfectly to have any chance of it going out. They do have a little bit of a chance of hitting it. I don't know that they can do it. They need to throw one of the heaviest shots that we would have seen on the day. They have to catch it perfect, and it can't run into anything. It can't jam into anything because they need rocks to stick around. Okay. As McLaren puts the pressure on Schweitzer and Hagberg here, as Schweitzer steps in to try to deliver the knockout punch here, but she has a tall order. They have to hit this rock perfectly to push it out and keep their rocks in play. I don't know that they have an angle here, but they got to try for it. Let's see if she can bring heavy weight. She needs to throw one of the heaviest and hardest rocks that we've seen all day. Let's see if it can happen. As she delivers the rock coming down that right side, not sure if the weight is going to be there. We're going to watch this one in our top-down view. Oh, she didn't get enough of it. She almost got it. Not an outright. That's going to be 2 for yellow, I believe. So that's 2 for yellow, and we are heading to extra ends, ladies and gentlemen. So that's 2 for Schweitzer and Hagberg as we are heading to extra ends. But that means that McLaren and Meckenbauer have hammer here heading into the 9th end overtime, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready to wrap this whole thing up. As our Bonspiel Master has gone down to discuss what is going to happen. It's extra ends. McLaren and Meckenbauer have the hammer. This gives them the advantage as they start off scoring 1 with those set rocks off the jump. Great shot by Schweitzer there. Just didn't get enough of it. She had a chance to push it out and give them the 3 spot. There are 7 of you left here. I don't know why there's not more of y'all because we are in overtime here. Extra ends, 9th end, winner take all here in Pool C. Winner, if McLaren and Meckenbauer win this, they move to 2-0. If Schweitzer and Hagberg win, they move to a 1-1 tie with McLaren and Meckenbauer. So we'll see what's going to happen here. This is going to be interesting to see how this one wraps up. So good shot down the left side there. Might have ticked the high guard as that sets up yellow. Sitting one, Schweitzer and Hagberg currently winning. We're just going to refer to this as who's winning right now because whoever scores in extra ends is going to be the winner. As Joyce McLaren settles in, she had the brilliant shot. She had the absolutely brilliant shot in the previous end to set up this extra end. She wedged it in there, drew right down, and made a mess of things in the back and really put the pressure on Schweitzer and Hagberg to try to clear it out. Good throw by McLaren. Coming down that left side, looks like she's bringing a little bit of a heavy draw, going to try to clear some things out. Oh, good shot. Let's see, is she going to get the tap? Not going to get as much of it as she wanted, but she's still going to settle on the button. Sitting shot rock right now and reasonably covered up. They can only see about half of that rock looking down the ice. That's going to be a tricky shot to try to clear it out. We'll see if they can make this happen here as Hagberg settles in for the yellow team. The team out of Chaska right now battling back, responding to a 4.7th end with a 2.8th end of their own, and they were in position to win big. But Joyce McLaren really stepped up big and made a huge shot to force a ninth end. As Hagberg coming out, going to follow down that left-hand side. Looks like he's going to try to push their yellow rock in just a little bit more and out-count it. Just going to try to push it in a little bit more, get it a little bit deeper and a little more buried, and just be the counting shot rock, because that's all it takes. It takes one rock here in the ninth end. Good throw by Hagberg. They're trying to push it, but I don't know that they can. Oh, it's starting to move there. Good break. Didn't quite make it. Hagberg had the line, needed a little bit more weight. The sweep was there. They're dealing with a dicey cocktail right now, folks, is when you're throwing down that side, you need it light enough that it's going to move enough to get over there. It doesn't want to move left to right now, but you have to throw it heavy enough that it's going to hit. If you throw it too heavy, it's not going to move, though. It's a vicious cycle that's leading to some trouble here for these teams as we start wrapping up, as McLaren and Meckenbauer are talking about what their next shot is going to be. They're currently sitting one. They are in the winner's circle right now. Let's see what Meckenbauer can do here with his first rock. As there's lots of speculation in the warm room right now. The warm room is a buzz, ladies and gentlemen. Feature of curling is everybody gathering afterwards to enjoy company, and there is not. Every eye is glued to the monitors here, watching the far house as Meckenbauer's working down the right-hand side. Two sweepers on. They got to hold it there. They got to hold it on that line. It's going to get around the guard. Great shot. It's going to get a little deeper, and it's just going to tap everything a little bit as it looks like Meckenbauer's. It looks like red is currently sitting at least one, maybe two. It's tough to tell from the top down. They have the angle, but what the problem for Meckenbauer and McLaren here is that Schweitzer and Hagberg now have a very open shot to that red rock on the right side of the house. You can see it back there. They have a very clean shot. They can bring a lot of weight. They can clear a lot of things out, and they can score and set their rock in a scoring position where it can't be touched. This is a tricky shot, but it is a very makeable shot. They need to come down. They need to catch it reasonably square, but just left of center, so that way it rolls a little bit to get under all those rocks on the left side of your screen there. You can see in the upper right-hand corner. It's going to be a tricky shot, but it is a makeable shot. As we're going to go quickly to our top-down view so you can see it a little better there. You can see all four. You can see what they need to do. We're going to see what Hagberg does here. Hagberg coming down that right-hand side, hugging that line perfectly. She's on it. The sweep is on. Needs to hold it there. Good sweep by Schweitzer. Hagberg's on it too. Both of them sweeping. Both of them furiously sweeping, trying to hold it on the line. Need to get it around the guard. They have it around that guard. Can they get it everywhere they need to go? It moves just a little bit too much as it taps the red rock into scoring position as everything is starting to pile up in the center of the house there, as this is leading to trouble for for Schweitzer and Hagberg. McLaren and Meckenbauer in talking about it now. They have an opportunity to pile in, do what Hagberg just tried to did. They can follow it down the middle there and just tap it and roll it in to the left there. They do that, and they've got those three rocks tight, and they've got rocks that tightly packed. It's going to be almost impossible for Schweitzer and Hagberg to move them off of those rocks. So let's see what Meckenbauer does right here. Let's see how he delivers this, if he can hit this exact how he needs it. As Meckenbauer settles into the hack here. As Meckenbauer settling in. Meckenbauer with a good slide coming out. Good release. Rocks on its way. Yeah, perfect. Coming down the right-hand side here. He needs that to move a whole bunch, folks. You're going to see it start to come into view on the screen. It's starting to move. They need to hold it. No, it moved a little bit more. Unless, ooh, that's still very open, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think they were intending for that to sit that open like that. So that leaves that same shot open for Hagberg and Schweitzer. As Hagberg settles in to the hack, getting ready to deliver this one, coming down the right side. I think Meckenbauer might have been trying to set a guard and just got away from him a little bit too much on the curl, moved more to the left than he thought it was going to, and leaves that shot lane still open for Schweitzer and Hagberg, as Hagberg settles in here to deliver his final stone. 2 stones left for red, 2 stones are after this, 1 stone left for yellow, 2 stones left for red. Hagberg needs to deliver a shot here. It's a little too wide. He has an opportunity out there to hit and roll off of his rock on the far right. I don't know if it's going to come back enough. It comes back a little bit, but not enough. It does clear some things out. But this leaves more opportunity for Meckenbauer and McLaurin, as the team from Denver now talking about how they want to approach this. So we'll see what they do here coming down, as McLaren and Meckenbauer are talking about how they want to play this. They have the chance to come down that right side, hit, clear some things out, or they can try to draw in. They do have a draw opportunity there to sit on top of their back red rocks and score it, but it looks like they want to clear that yellow rock out of there. This is Meckenbauer's last rock, and then we're on to hammer. Let's see what Meckenbauer can do here with his final stone. He's setting up here. They were looking at that yellow on the right side of the red circle. Tap that one on the inside, clear it out, and then you leave Schweitzer with a very difficult shot to come down and try to win it. So Meckenbauer settling in, talking it over with McLaren, finalizing what their plan is, what they want to do. As Meckenbauer might be a little wide there. We'll see. They need it to come back. As McLaren switches over, tries to push it back. Ooh, might not be. Oh, it's starting to move a little bit. I don't know that it's going to get back across. It does. It crosses the face of that rock, as it's going to guard everything up. So we'll see. This is going to be a tricky shot here for Schweitzer and Hagberg. They have to throw a slash here where they have to catch the outside of one of their yellow rocks and push it into the scoring position. This is a very difficult shot, but we've seen them make it. It's a difficult but doable shot. They have options to come from the right or the left. They can tap the left rock or they can tap the right rock. But they need to remember McLaren and Meckenbauer do have a shot left, but with the right shot, they might not have much that they can do here. We'll see if the duo from Chaska here can score and win. This is going to be an interesting finish here as Schweitzer has Hagberg set the line that she wants. As she likes it. She's looking. She's coming down to deliver the most important stone of the day for her team. If she can hit this slash where she's going to tap the outside of that rock on the right side, she needs to tap the outside. So we're going to see how hard she throws this, if she's online or not. This is going to be a fascinating shot here. She has a chance to win it for her team in extra ends to make this a 10-9 victory. If she misses, though, victory goes to the duo from Denver, McLaren and Meckenbauer. It all comes down to this. Schweitzer. Delivery is on. Coming down the right side. Might be a little wide. She needs it to come back. She needs it to come back. As it's just hanging out there. I don't think it's going to come back enough. And that looks like it's going to be it. Schweitzer falls victim to the D sheet fall off. Can't bring it back in. Good shot. Good battle. As Schweitzer and Hagberg fall to McLaren and Meckenbauer 10-9 in extra ends. Great battle here as that moves McLaren and Meckenbauer to 2-0, tied with Kristen and Gabriel Nickel at 2-0 atop Pool C. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here this evening for our 4 o'clock draw. Be back in an hour for our 7 o'clock draw, and we will see you then. We're excited. Some more great curling action, again, coming up at our 7 o'clock draw. Thank you very much. This is Adam Pelletier from the Charlotte Curling